presses in the United States and is included in an anthology called St. Peter's B List. Laurie gathered more IBPC awards than any other poet, stopping at 50. She had 2 books of poetry published in 2015, Luna and Gertrude Stein's Salon and Other Legends. A chapbook was published in 2016, Wonder, out of Wales. She received a 2016 and 2017 New Jersey Poets Prize honorable mention for poems in the Stein book and her forthcoming The Bloomsberries and Other Curiosities. Laurie is currently poet in residence at the West Milford Township Library, where Circle of Voices continues to meet. Laurie will read her honorable mention poem first, and then the other poems that are published in this year's edition. Thanks, Laurie.
Okay. I get fixated, as they know, on different events and different things. So first it was Gertrude Stein, and then I wrote about the Bloomsberries and Other Curiosities. And that's where these 3 poems are actually from the new manuscript that's out. I just think I should let you know that the Virginia Woolf gang, that whole gang in Bloomsbury, they call themselves the Apostles. So I thought that was important to know that in this poem. And I think there's enough, a reference in here, maybe not, to some of the fish, maybe not. Okay. So it's called Stones for the Apostles. Against you, I will fling myself, unvanquished and unyielding, O death, Virginia Woolf. There were stones for skimming. They parted the watery sheets of her suicide like the palms of God. She had rehearsed them for years, practicing the music. She summoned them like tongues of the apostles as they announced their arrival. Like God, she had chosen a Jew. She didn't believe in him exactly. Stones beckoned her through these gates of the sacred Jews. She employed them like soldiers, heavy and round, beautiful as spring potatoes. She divided them into each pocket. There were always plenty to share. This river kneaded them like bread. She would leave a trail. As she sank down deeper into the brackish waters of her imagination, down, down, touching bottom at last, she planted them like a nest of eggs. They were gorgeous, a man's hidden body. This terror of the unknown only took her under for moments, this cool lover's embrace. She had anticipated this end her entire life. She's a vessel emptying herself of words, the burden of her skin, the first awkward sentence, a last vowel escaping her mouth, churning to the river, to the surface of the river Ouse. How beautiful she shudders. My soul, now this river, free at last. And I was on a Lazarus kick for a while, because after he was raised, he went to work. He went to live in Cyprus. And I thought that was very interesting to think of him walking among people in Cyprus. So some of the published poems I had was about people seeing him on the streets and how interesting that must have been for them and for him. So I read that his sister Mary had went to visit him when he was living there. And so this is called Lazarus Receives a Visit from his sister Mary. She was the one that famously anointed Jesus' feet. We put Mary to work in the garden, had her bury her fingers in the black earth of Cyprus. Often we heard her weep, the foolishness of loving a man promised to God. Her tears baptized white and scarlet petals. We sent her to the market to sell vegetables we had grown. She carried her wicker basket against her tiny frame. She struggled under the bounty of peppers and figs. When he asked her if she loved him, they both knew what he meant. After the murder that darkened the skies on the hill, she threw herself at the cross like a mad thing. She made me burn her hair. I used a straight knife, sharpened against a rock, and cut it with care. Her head on the table, I worried it was her throat she wanted me to slit. Her eyes were fevered with a strange grief that is not of spiritual passion. It was then I understood why she had broken into her money box, squandered perfume to wash his feet. but her hair, her beauty, gone. All traces of the act that made her sweet to us, lying on the floor ready to be swept away. It was yellow like a field of sun orchids. It was a gold coin waiting to be spent. And this one doesn't have any introduction except that I do believe in selkies and all that nonsense, right? If anybody doesn't know what it is, look it up later. They say of people that believe in those things that they're away, right? I'm away often. Okay. Shipwrecked in a reel of stars. The lulling of the sirens was bliss, and then the wrench of ship and sound. As you lay in the wreckage, showing skin like a pale belly of a freckled starfish, I remembered sulky men and imagined that this must be a sin. Your mother left an almanac of all your truths and lies written in her even hand, and tumbled as smooth as sand in shells around your head. A petticoat of foam was crushed around your feet. There was no future there among the glass. I stole a line from you that day and sold it. My tongue is a slippery piece of pink silk. Jealous soul merchants want it, and me too. You knew my small frame would dangle without shame in the shiver of those biting stars. Your eyes glowed red, and I answered you with my crooked little heart. Thank you.